This is an excerpt of a recent Power Up webinar called Ask Larry Anything. Hi, my name is Larry Jordan. In this short video, I have a conversation about computer performance in the real world, specifically for video editing. Which gets me to a bigger conversation, which is a conversation about performance. If we take a look at storage speed of typical data units, a single spinning hard drive is about 175 megabytes a second. It ranges from 120 to 220. 175 is a good number. A PCIe SCSI SSD is 400 megabytes a second, about 2.5 times as fast. If we create a RAID out of spinning media, a 4-drive RAID, it's going to deliver about 500 to 550 megabytes a second. An 8-drive RAID, roughly 1,200. And NVMe SSD, which is the latest technology in SSDs, drives data about 2,400 megabytes a second, blowing the doors off any spinning media, though it doesn't have the same capacity. A 4-drive SCSI SSD, and I was doing a web search. I can't find any to buy these days. That technology is totally gone. But if you had one, delivers data around 1,200 megabytes a second. A 2-drive NVMe RAID, 2,800 megabytes a second, and it's limited not by the speed of the NVMe, but by the Thunderbolt 3 and Thunderbolt 4 protocol. What we're doing with Apple, what Apple is doing, is they're creating a RAID 0 of 2 NVMe SSDs and delivering a data rate of about 5,600 megabytes a second. Unbelievably fast. So isn't faster better? And the answer is not really. If we take a look at Codec Speed, that's the media that we're editing. If I compare the data transfer rate that we need for 1080p video and UHD, which is a version of 4K, both at 30 frames a second. AVC Intro, which doesn't support 4K, is 12 megs a second. Red, 12 to 48. XAVC, 55 to 120. ProRes 422, which is the workhorse of Final Cut, 18 to 73. And ProRes 4x4, which is a very fat codec, is 42 to 165 megabytes a second, which is slower than the transfer speed of a single hard drive. Not to mention a PCIe SSD or the blinding speed of an NVMe SSD. Now, granted, this is editing cinema, and your actual data transfer rate should be double this. So if you were editing ProRes 4x4 at 40 megabytes a second, you'd want a data transfer rate which is double that, or 80, or double 165, which is 320. That allows us to play the current clip and preload the next clip. So I'm not saying that more speed is bad, but we don't need the speeds that we thought we needed. Now, the exception to this is Multicam. With Multicam, the bandwidth increases as we increase the number of streams that we're playing. For instance, if I was editing ProRes 422 4K 30 frames a second, a single stream is 80 megs, 2 cameras is 160, 4 cameras is 320. 8 cameras, you can see how this escalates quickly. If I was suddenly editing 16 to 20 cameras at ProRes 422 normal, not proxy, I'm going to need 1.5 gigabytes of data per second to play those streams all at the same time. But an NVMe SSD gives us double that. So while multicam editing does require us to shift our storage from spinning media to SSDs because the latency is just too great with spinning media, technology today allows us to easily handle even massively large multicam edits. We just need to make allowances for it, but the gating factor is not the speed of our computer. The gating factor is the speed of our storage. Because any modern computer is more than fast enough to edit most common video formats, HD, 2K, 4K, multicam. The challenge isn't the speed of our computer. That's fast enough. Speed of our storage. This was an excerpt of a recent Power Up webinar called Ask Larry Anything. For the complete version of this online training, please visit our store at larryjordan.com/store and look for Webinar 339. By the way, when you need to stretch your training dollars, membership in our video training library saves you money and time. You can access all our videos for a low monthly price of only $19.99, almost 2,000 movies, hundreds of hours on a wide variety of subjects. Plus, premium members can download practice media and projects. Our training covers a variety of software, and we update it multiple times each month. For more information, visit larryjordan.com/membership. And thanks.